What is up, football fans? I am Danny Austin of the Calgary Sun. This is Ted Wyman of the Winnipeg Sun. Ted, this is a big week for you guys in Winnipeg. I know you talked to Bombers GM Kyle Walters yesterday. Tell me what he said that was interesting.
Well, he said a few things that were very interesting, talking in particular about the trade that brought Zach Collaros to Winnipeg that really happened 30 seconds before the trade deadline, and just how important that was. And I asked him, how glad are you that you were able to pull that off now? And he said, very glad. It's a simple answer, but it's just the truth. This team would not be here. I don't think they'd be here if Zach Collaros hadn't been acquired. And, you don't even know for sure if Chris Strevler hadn't got injured, he might still be the guy running the controls, and you just don't know where things would be. Zach Collaros has truly been a savior for this team. It was a wonderful trade.
When we brought Zach in, we were looking for a veteran quarterback to come in to provide depth once we found out the severity of Matt's injury. And when Zach became available, we knew it was a veteran guy who was going to pick up the system quicker than a young guy, and we weren't sure, but if and how he fit in on the field, but we were confident with his ability that if he did get a chance, he'd perform, and we've seen that.
He also talked about the situation with Mike O'Shea, the head coach of the Blue Bombers, who is a free agent essentially at the end of the season. Been here 6 years already, worked with Kyle Walters and Wade Miller the whole time, and really it sounds like there's desire on both sides for him to return. Kyle Walters said that he looked Mike in the eye and told him he wanted him to be back, and Mike looked him in the eye and told him he wanted to be back. There are things that can happen between now and then, the most significant of which is that there may be other teams interested in Mike O'Shea, maybe particularly the Toronto Argonauts. So there's going to be a lot of work for Kyle Walters the minute this thing ends, whether they win or lose.
Yeah, it's interesting because those Argonauts rumors are there, but we haven't actually heard anything from either side that just suggests that they're real.
Right.
It's just what we assume because of his relationship with Pinball Clemens. That said, it is closed practices today, so we're not getting a look at the Bombers or the Ticats on the field. Tomorrow's the last practice of the year for both teams, no matter what. What are you really looking out for on Friday?
Well, it's hard to really glean too much because what they're going to do in the game is what they're doing today in practice, in the closed practice, because they don't want anybody to know any possible trick plays, anything like that. How the usage of Zach Collaros and Chris Strevler goes is going to be interesting, but the weird thing about that is that you just assume that they're this two-headed monster team. Well, last week they go into Regina, and the two-headed monster wasn't there. It was just one. Zach Collaros got the job done with his arm. Chris Strevler was not able to get the job done with his legs, but you want to have them both available. You want to use that situation. The Bombers are obviously going to be trying to get their running game going better. It wasn't particularly good against the Saskatchewan Roughriders last week. They were bailed out by the fact that Collaros was able to throw so many deep balls, but they've got to. That's their identity, and I think if they've got to have that working to be able to even have a chance against a great Hamilton Tiger Cats team.
Perfect. Well, again, I'm Danny Austin. This is Ted Wyman. Thank you so much for watching. We are here all week.